Morning, all of you. Today we are going to study 6th standard history. This is your new textbook, Getting Ahead in Social Science. Class 6. In this textbook, you will study history, geography, and also political science. If you want to download the textbook, there is an application in Google. If you search Orient Black Swan, you will get an application, download it. From that you can access to the textbook. The first chapter is when, where and how. In this, first you study what is history. History is the study of our past. So history is the study of our past. History also help us to study about what people did and how they lived in the past, about their economy, about their occupations and their eating habits, about their rulers, the battles they fought. History also studies how past events have affected lives of the people. Why do we learn history? Children, you might be confused at times why we should learn about the long dead kings and their battles. We learn history of many reasons. Study of the past gives us a sense of identity. It helps us to identify ourselves. It teaches who we are and who our ancestors were. When we study about our early man, how they lived, what were their developments, we will be able to identify them. We need to know our past to be able to understand our present. If we know about the past, only we will be understand about the present. For example, the freedom fighters, we study about independence movement. All these things are past history. If we study about them, only we will understand what all sacrifice these people have done for us. A study of the history is meant to make us more tolerant and open-minded about other people and their culture. So it also helps us to be more tolerant and open-minded toward other people and their culture. So these are the important points why we should learn history. To study history, in order to make it easy, the historians have divided it into two, prehistory and history. So it is divided into two sections, that is prehistory and history. So in the prehistoric period, human beings did not learn to write. There is no written document on prehistoric period, and the historic period we are getting some written documents. Next we are going to study how we calculate the time and date in history. The timeline from the period of from here. Historians divide the timeline by when the Jesus Christ have born, that is before Christ, and they also in the year of the Lord, that is AD. Anno Domini means in the year of the Lord in Latin. So from here it is counted forward, and from here it is counted backward. BC is counted backward and AD is counted forward. So this point is where the historians believe that Jesus Christ is believed to have born. So this from this time period to here, this is the first century, this is the second century, this is the third century, and this is the fourth century. Now the historians don't use BC and AD. Instead of, they use BCE, before common era, and CE, common era. So the division of history on the basis of Christ, that is changed, and now the historians use BCE, that is before common era and common era. Now at present we use common era, 2020 CE, that is common era. So can you tell in which era we are living now? 2020, which era? 2020 is the 21st century. One more example, 1446. This is the century. This is the 15th. That will be on the 15th century. Because 100 to 200, in between all the dates will come in the first century. So 14 to 15, in between all the dates will come in the 15th century. We got independence in 1947. Which century? It will be on 20th century. So this is how we calculate the timeline. Next we are going to study about the geographical framework of India. The geography of a land often has a powerful impact on the history. This is the physical map of India. On this we can see Himalayas, the northern plains and the Deccan Plateau. So these are the main physical features of India. You can see the Himalayan ranges on the north of India. They have acted as a barrier against invading forces from the north. Even though it is protected by the Himalayas, there were many passes on the Himalayan regions through which many people, traders and travelers invade into India through these passes. Another important feature of India is the oceans. It is protected by ocean from three sides: Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea and Indian Ocean. These sea and oceans protect Peninsula India from invasion. These also provided port for foreigners to come here and settle. Many important natural harbors and ports help people from distant land like Rome, Mesopotamia, Egypt, Southeast Asia were able to come to India for trade. Next physical feature is the northern plains. It lies between the Indus and the Ganga. Between this region, it is a vast expanse of fertile land. The fertile nature of the plains encourage the growth of agriculture. Next is the Deccan Plateau. The Deccan Plateau is separated by the Vindhya and the Satpura mountains. So it is a separation of North India by these mountains. So this helped to develop many kingdoms in the Deccan region. The Chola, the Cheras, the Rashtrakutas, all these prominent rulers come into existence because there was a separation. It helped to develop their own culture and traditions here. So the main physical features of India are the Himalayas, the oceans and seas, the northern plain and the Deccan Plateau. Next we are going to study about the sources for the study of history. We studied early that history is divided into prehistoric period and historic period. During the prehistoric period, we depend on archaeology, the excavation conducted by the archaeology department. What all things we get from there, from that only we get information about the prehistoric period. There is no written document. Next, we are going to study about the sources for the study of history. During the prehistoric period, the archaeology, before the people learn to read and write, at that time we depend on archaeology, and during the historic period we depend on manuscripts, inscriptions, coins and seals. These are the sources of information. We also get information from religious literature like Vedas, Ramayana and Tripitakas. Another form of information we are getting through secular literature. Secular literature is writing on politics, grammar, medicine and law. Examples of secular literature are biographies like Harshacharita. Biographies like Harshacharita by Banabhatta, the Arthashastra by Kaudilya. Next source of information is traveler's account. Travelers like Huang Sang and Megasthenes give us an important information about the rulers of that time. Huang Sang was a Chinese traveler who visited India during the period of Harsha in the 7th century, and Megasthenes was a Greek ambassador who visited the court of Mauryan king Chandragupta, and he gave a detailed description of the Mauryan rule in his book Indica. Inscriptions are written or engraved on rocks, pillars and walls of the temples, palaces, forts, etc. Writings on any walls of temples, palaces and forts are known as inscription. And this understanding, the process of reading and understanding the script used in inscriptions is known as decipherment. Decipherment means the process of reading and understanding the script written on walls of temples, palaces, forts, etc. Epigraphy is the study of inscription. The study of inscriptions is known as epigraphy. Study of inscription is known as epigraphy. Coins and seals also gives us information. The study of coins is known as numismatics. Numismatics. Numismatic is the study of coins. Now I would like to give you some homework. Fill in the blanks. Take your rough book, write the question and also answer. Fill in the blanks. First one, the study of events that happened before humans learned to write is called dash. The study of events that happened before humans learned to write is called dash. We studied that the history is divided into two, prehistory and history. So which period that humans did not learn to write. Next question is, in the period before the birth of Christ, historians count the years dash. In the period after the birth of Christ, they count the years dash. There I showed you one timeline on which the birth of Jesus Christ is marked, and it is marked in two directions, so that you have to check one more time and find out how you count the timeline. The main sources of information for prehistory is dash. That also we studied. We are getting what are the sources of information we are getting during the historic period and also prehistoric period. Banabhatta wrote the dash in the 8th century. Huang Sang visited India during the rule of dash in the dash century. The process of reading and understanding inscription is known as dash. So try to find out these answers and write in your answer book. Take one book for social studies and first write this, fill in the blanks. Thank you and have a nice day.